Hello and welcome to another Monday night stream. Just making sure I'm set up properly. Looks like it. Okay. I know I should really get some practice in setting up without streaming, just so that I know it's working. Although I haven't changed anything, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be continuing last week's work. I deliberately so what I've done is I did 2 scenes worth of motion capture last week. One of those scenes I've been working on, and the other one I deliberately saved to continue today, so you can get an idea of the process of bringing motion capture data into iClone. Now there probably is a more efficient way of doing it, but I find this way gives me some really good results. So it's a separate piece of software called 3D Exchange, and Realition didn't update this for the most recent version of iClone, but that's fine because it still works. They kind of incorporated the two things together, but unless there's some options I haven't found yet, I find that 3D Exchange, bringing the motion capture in this way, it looks better and smoother and so on. And I'm not sure if the options to do that exist in iClone anymore, so we're doing it this way. Krogan, hello, welcome. Darth, doing pretty good. Hope you're doing well as well. Chris, hello there. Happy Memorial Day. I don't celebrate Memorial Day here, but I will wish you all a happy Memorial Day. It was a bank holiday, which is it's a day when the banks are closed, and there's some kind of religious background to it, which I'm not that familiar with. So it's a holiday here, but it's not Memorial Day. How's everyone's day going? I went to a friend's birthday picnic this afternoon. I had a great time. 1 second. Glad you're going well. Krogan, how's your day going? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on this because this part of the process isn't that interesting to watch, and I don't think the settings are actually going to even show up because they usually don't, the extra windows that come up. So I'm just going to get started. I'm not entirely sure how to explain what I'm actually doing. It's kind of this weird process where you bring in the data and then you export it again without doing anything to it, and then you import that exported version back in, and somehow doing it that way means that the character's animation is processed smoothly. If you don't do that, it's all very jagged and it takes a long time to fix. I don't want to spend ages fixing something unnecessarily. There's a friend of mine who figured this technique out. I have no idea how he did it, because it's not something that really makes sense, but it works. Right, so I've done that quick export thing, and I've brought the data back in. So you get this sort of skeleton thing which has the data on it. So you need to convert it to a whatever the option was, what was it called? Convert to non-standard character. Don't know why it's called that, but it works. You need to set a Heir human. Active convert. There we go. Let's have a look, see what the result is. And there we go. Obviously this is not the final character, this is just a basic model for to get an idea of what the motion is like. So it's nice and smooth. Sherry, hello, welcome. What video games have you been playing recently? I was trying to play Jedi Survivor, but the last 2 patches made it unplayable on PC. It was struggling before, but I just cannot progress. So I'm waiting for the next patch, which will hopefully make things better. I've been playing a lot of Stellaris instead, which I really enjoy that game. Of course, with all the expansions, it's not the same game as it was at release. Or even just the free updates have changed so much about it. But I still really like it. And I backed the System Shock remake when it was on Kickstarter. That gets released tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to giving that a try. Yes, I do play it. Alright, that motion was looking good, so I'll export it again, and this is the proper export process. Lucky Kennedy, hello and welcome. So that was for card. The same thing for Aves. Again, need to convert a non-standard Maya human. And I know it's going to be smooth, so I'm not going to play it again. Exporting in. I really want to play my Ultimate Sith Edition game, but my Xbox signed out. Any way you can get it signed back in again? I don't know too much about the Xbox sign-in process. Well, do you have any advice for someone trying to rule the galaxy in Stellaris? Keep your economy balanced. Try not to get too far behind the other races. If you've got any of the expansions, I find the easiest race type to dominate with are driven assimilators. Basically you get to be like the Borg from Star Trek, because there's less management and it's easier to keep the people happy, but also being able to assimilate any life form means you can expand very quickly and you can get people on all kinds of planet types, and the more you assimilate, the more you can produce, and you just keep going. And when you get really powerful, you can assimilate the fallen empires, which is quite fun. Of course, once you do start assimilating people, it kind of makes you unpopular. So you have to watch out for that. Lucky says, rereading Heir to the Empire, your adaptation really gets better than what we get from Filoni. So, I don't think Dave Filoni had any say in the decision to scrap the EU. He kind of had to live with it too. What I think he's going to do is, it's not going to be the same story. It's going to be like The Winter Soldier. The film has some basic elements from the comic, in the sense that Bucky is found and he's a Hydra assassin, and of course Captain America has to deal with that. But the actual events of the graphic novel and the film or the movie are very different. I think what's going to happen with Heir to the Empire and Ahsoka, and anything that happens after Ahsoka, is going to be like that. Thrawn's in it, causing mayhem for the New Republic, which is lifted from the Thrawn trilogy, but the actual events are going to be very different. Nathan, after you've after you're done with the last chapter, are you going to re-release the whole thing as one movie? So I will definitely release chapter 17 to 32 as part 2 to go alongside the part 1 movie. I will probably touch up some of the graphics in chapter 17 because I didn't do the ray traced rendering and I want it to be visually consistent all the way through. I think what I would do after that is re-render all of part 1 and release that as a part 1 special edition, so you can watch that and part 2 together, and they, again, visually consistent between the two of them, because some of the early parts of Heir to the Empire have look really dated now compared to what I can do now. That's just the nature of the software, and learning more about it and its own capabilities improve, more features are added and better rendering options come along. So that's my plan for it, and whether or not I combine them into one really long movie, possibly. It'll be about 4 hours long. So it'd be fun to do that. But I'm definitely going to release them as part 2 and a part 1 special edition. I guess there's no reason not to release a 4 hour long movie edit. Just thinking about that now. Could be fun. But I'll do the part 2 and special edition first. But yeah, I'd have to have the special edition done so it is visually consistent all the way through a 4 hour long movie, because you don't want it to start off looking dated and then progressing slowly all the way through. You want it to look the same all the way through. Because I want to, if I'm going to watch it that way, I want to be something I'm really proud of. I mean, I am really proud of everything I've done in this series, but I want it to look its best. And what was my best back then is not my best now. And in fact, my best now is probably not going to be my best when that time comes. Because we've still got a way to go. Now, did I? Yes. Okay, so this process is done. I am going to close this software, which means the screen is going to go blank for a couple of minutes while I load up iClone. I'm still going to be here in the chat talking, so I'm not going anywhere. You're just not going to see anything. So please bear with me just a moment. There were definitely issues with Clone Wars and EU not lining up. I honestly didn't really think too much about it. I did prefer the EU, especially the stuff with the Mandalorians. There were some EU stories that weren't that great, and then there were some obviously that really were. I can't really. I watched Clone Wars all the way through. I've only watched it all the way through once, so I don't remember a lot about it. I don't really feel the need to watch it again. But we'll see what happens with Ahsoka, even if it is different. Alright, so iClone is loaded. Let's see if... Hold on a minute. It's not letting me select the iClone window. Let's try here. There we go. Ultimate Sith Edition is pretty cool. Yeah, Force Unleashed was a pretty fun game. Alright, so what I need to do is we're going to work on card first. So I need the card character model. Have you played the First Contact DLC first, Delaris? Yes, my current game campaign, whatever you want to call it, I'm using that DLC. And the other two that is it two? There is another one as well, a few weeks ago. I've got them both, and they're both active in my campaign. Oh, that's why. I'm in the wrong place. I wonder if I couldn't find the card model. Alright, bring him in. Takara, hello and welcome. Alan, I just started Thorn Tree a few weeks ago and I'm so happy your movie exists. How much it's finished, you're doing an amazing job. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy reading the trilogy. Obviously it's going to be much faster to read it than waiting for me to finish the trilogy. But I'm glad you found this series and that you're enjoying it. Yeah. Keep on reading the books. They are worth reading, and it sounds like you're enjoying it, so... now we need to bring in the animation file, which is somewhere over here. Yeah, there we go. Have you ever done a vid on character design? I'd love to see what that looks like. I have streamed some character editing. Not recently, but if you go on my channel and look under the live section of all my videos, you'll have to go back a little bit, but you should see some character creation videos in there. I can't remember exactly what I called them, but I know I have streamed it. It was updated. I think the last one I did was updating the Han Solo character model to make him look a little bit more like Harrison Ford, with the input of you guys in the stream. Because he was a character, but something about his face I just really struggling to get right, no matter what I did. But thankfully, you guys were here and offered me input and created a hand model that I'm very happy with, and he's still the same character model I'm using now. Over the course of the series I have updated the characters in bits and pieces, like obviously there's a big jump between chapter 2 and 3, but you know, over time this has changed as well. Cards changed. Well, they've all changed really. Oh, I started playing it. Didn't want to do that just yet. Right, so here on the timeline we've got the animation. regardless. Thanks, I'm so hit and miss when I make the streams, so I thought there was a good chance I missed it. I'll have to go back and check it out. Oh, please do, yeah. And don't worry about hit and miss. Every single stream except for one, because it was so glitchy, I thought it would make people ill. 4,000. Just setting the project length to be longer so I get the whole set of animation in. It was so glitchy that things were flashing on the screen, and I deleted it because it's not pleasant. It was very short, and I thought this is not going to be worth watching. That's the only one I've deleted. Every other stream is still here on my channel. So if you missed anything, don't worry, you can catch up. Matthew, evening all, I went to game last week and they had Heir to the Empire Luke Skywalker figure. Very nice. I've got one of those. Oh! I got the Mara Jade figure. The Dark Force Rising one. So people here in the chat in America were saying that they spotted her, it must have been about 2 months ago now. And I've been looking, maybe even longer than that. Maybe 3 months ago. I've been looking in everywhere I could to find one, and eventually I got one from an online store called Jedi Archives UK, and she's currently sitting on top of a shelf, still in the box, but kind of in a place of honour. I did actually open the box, which I know is shocking, but they changed the box so you can't see inside. The only way to see the figure inside is to open the box, so I carefully opened the box and took her out, and she was wrapped up in some kind of tissue stuff to keep her safe, so I very carefully opened that up, and she looks really good. Hoppy, you are not a first time caller, but you are definitely a long time listener because you have been here for so long. What does the packaging look like? It looks very similar to the Heir to the Empire Luke figure. So it looks like it kind of looks like a cardboard box, and you can open the flap. The picture on it is Mara Jade from the Dark Force Rising graphic novel. I believe it's one of the covers from the individual issues. I could not tell you which one. But yeah, when you open the flap inside, it doesn't show the figure. Like the Luke one, you can see inside. And I don't know why they changed it. But otherwise, the box is the same size and shape as the Heir to the Empire one. I wonder when Darth will get. That's a lot of views. Oh, part 1 is closing in on 1 million, so well, hopefully not too far off. I think when the Ahsoka show launches in August, that's going to bring a lot of people to the series. So when Celebration happened, nearly 2 months ago now, which is weird to think about, the Ahsoka trailer dropped. Suddenly, lots and lots of people were watching Heir to the Empire. Because obviously there's lots of connection there between that series and the book and these videos. So hopefully the series will have the same effect, or even better effect. No one makes a video. I was so excited to open it, I did not think about making recording an unboxing video. And obviously it's a bit late to do that now. Thrawn might be appearing in Ahsoka. Thrawn is definitely appearing in Ahsoka. And there's the online trailer, and you see the back of his head. At Celebration, they showed a different trailer, which had the front of his head, so you got to see his face. And then after the trailer, Lars Mikkelsen came out on stage and was talking about it. So they went with the right guy. And there's lots of speculation about who should play him. And I always wanted Lars to do it because he did the voice so well. And when he was in Sherlock, excuse me, when he was in Sherlock, he played a very Thrawn-like character, and all the mannerisms and everything were perfect. So he was the right choice. Just have a quick drink of water to deal with that cough. There we go. Speaking of coughs, I'm taking some medication for it. At the end of the stream, could you remind me to go and take the medication, because I should have done it before the stream and I forgot. So I'm asking you guys for a reminder to take my medication before bed. Okay, so card. What I'm doing here is going to watch through it, and then we're going to look for places where there are issues with the animation. Jerry, thank you. So he's going to fold his arms, and I know the arms are going to clip. And there'll be some other issues that might appear, so let's watch through it and see what happens. See what I mean by clipping? Hands in his chest. But those are easy things to fix. Let's carry on watching. This way, because this is the way that... No, it's going to be this way. Yeah. So far, it's looking good. It's just the arms that are an issue. His head may need to tilt up a little bit. I may actually leave his head, though, adjust that when I'm working on the completed scene, so that I can have him actually looking at the other character, because at the moment I'll just be guessing. But yeah, I think just got to fix the arms. So back to the beginning. I need to bring up the motion layer editor. G. I'm going to try something here. Bear with me just a moment. No, it won't let me do it. I wanted to bring the motion layer editor in so you could just 1 moment, changing position. I wanted to bring the motion layer in so you could actually see what I'm doing. ZS Overman, hello, welcome. ZS Overman is a very long time friend of mine from the machinima community. He does some excellent machinima videos, so you should go and check out his channel. So it's good to see you, Phil. Yeah, long time no see. It's been so long since yesterday. Right, so I'm going to leave the bones on so you can see what I'm doing. So we start. That's basically where I was taking my hand away from the phone, playing the audio for me to listen to. So we'll go to there. Yeah, this is kind of the position that I settled in when folding my arms. Actually, I'm going to turn the bones off because I need to be able to see the fingers. But I want to get rid of this clipping effect, so let's start with this arm. I'm going to rotate the elbow a little bit that way, a little bit up. This is a process where you kind of have to go back and forwards between the two sides. So it's in the right height, but not quite far enough. But let's bring the other arm up as well. Yeah, zooming out to get a better perspective. We're going to bring the arm across a little bit, rotate the hand, switch it to local so that the little gizmo thing matches the position of the arm. It makes it a little bit easier. Not always, sometimes you need it in the other setting, but just the finger. I think that we can assume the thumb is hidden under there. Okay. And back to the other hand. This is where it gets a bit awkward because I've Dart, it was really good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Once the stream's finished, it will be saved onto the channel so you can check it out and see what you missed. But again, thank you for stopping by. And take care. The problem with this is the jacket. It makes the arms very puffy. Which means it's harder to do this kind of position. I'm collecting Star Wars Retro 2/3 through Wave 6. I haven't been collecting the figures like that, so which characters are in Wave 6? I don't buy the complete collections, I just buy the handful of characters that I really like. So which characters are in the wave and which ones have you got so far? I know it's a very basic character, but I really want a Black Series Stormtrooper. And I'm kind of kicking myself because I remember, I think it was Toys R Us, some toy shop here anyway, they were selling the Black Series Stormtroopers for almost nothing. Like, it's a really ridiculously low price, and I just did not buy one, and I don't know why. I don't know, maybe I should have bought several because I could have had so much fun with them, doing toy photography and stuff like that. Because I've seen so many good pictures that have been posted, people doing that, and I've done it with Lego, which is fun. But it'd be nice to do some realistic stuff with the Black Series figures. 40th anniversary, Return of the Jedi. Have you got Han Solo, Lando, Luke, Princess Leia on order. Okay, good selections. Maybe I should go and have a look to see what's available near me. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Let's watch through the scene now to see how that arm positioning looks all the way through. Actually looking pretty good. Sometimes the clipping, sometimes the fingers or hands will still clip when as the scene progresses. This time they're not. And there is a way to stop it, which I didn't do. Oh, there we go. Just a little bit there on that finger. This is the first time it's gone so smoothly, and maybe I just jinxed it by saying that. So yeah, it clips a lot there. But otherwise that... Oh, and at the end when he turns, that's fine because I was moving to turn the... to replay the sound so I could take another take. That bit won't be in the scene, so it doesn't matter. So let's go back to... here. We are going to use this reach tool to select. Basically, the arm's position will be saved and attached to the other arm so they don't drift or anything. It's quite a handy little tool. When it works, which it didn't. Alright, well, I don't know why it didn't. Let's try this way. It's looking... It wasn't clipping before, but there was a tiny little bit of drift, and that seems to have fixed it. Like the hand was moving a little bit when it shouldn't. So I'm just watching closely to make sure there's no clipping, so I will catch up with the chat in just a moment. Yeah, that was perfect. Alright, let's catch up on the chat before I move on to the next bit. So Matthew, are we all invited to a sleepover? Playing toys, I mean, reenacting historical movie scenes. I keep my figures carded and I'm interested in that New Hope 6-pack. See, I didn't know they'd done a New Hope 6-pack, so maybe I should look into that, or maybe I shouldn't. Darth, I thought you were disappearing, and you're still here, which is, I'm glad you're still here. Don, you are doing God's work. Can't believe I get to see this take place in real time. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the series and you're enjoying watching the behind the scenes. Every Monday I like to stream, and it usually is a behind the scenes of um, making the series. There are times when I don't have anything to show, either because I haven't got enough content to work on a scene, or I'm working on a scene but I want you guys to see it when it's finished, not when it's being made. That doesn't happen very often though. So on those times I usually play a game or do something. Did we learn nothing from Toy Story 2? Toys should be played with. Did you keep Mara carded? I think people should do what they like with their toys. Open them and play with them, or keep them carded and on display. I did very carefully open the Mara Jade box. She's not a carded figure, she's in a cardboard box, and you could just, it's a very simple matter of opening the top and pulling her out. So you're not really damaging the box by doing that. And inside she's kind of wrapped up in some tissue paper. So I carefully unwrapped her to have a look at the figure, because the new box you can't see inside. They could have given you They could have given me an empty box and you wouldn't know it, other than there's a little bit of weight to it. But I wanted to make sure she was in there, she was not broken, and that she looked good, and she did. She was not broken, and she obviously was in there, and some lightsabers are in there as well. The new Indiana Jones movie isn't doing very good. Well, so far it's not been released to the public, so I guess we'll have to wait and see at the end of next month. Neither was the last one. I don't know, I thought Last Crusade was pretty good. I think Last Crusade actually is my favourite indie. Just think about it that I like more than the other two. And I couldn't place my finger on it. It just is how it is. I mean, I do like Rangers of the Lost Ark, and I do like Temple of Doom. I think Temple is my least favourite though. Last Indiana Jones was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Never heard of it. There's only 3 Indiana Jones films. The family element of Last Crusade was appealing. You know, I think that might be it. And I watched it as a kid with my family, which probably made it a special viewing experience. Right, so the next thing is Matthew, I'm trying to make a joke about there's only 3 indie films. Peace Treaty, hello, welcome. So now I kind of want to watch The Last Crusade. Well, actually, hang on. On Wednesday, they all get added to Disney Plus, so I'm going to watch them again that way. And the Young Indiana Jones series as well. That was kind of fun. So I know you can't see everything I'm doing because for some reason OBS doesn't pick up all the windows, but I am going through this process of smoothing the animation, because this looks great, but you go through this little smoothing process and it'll look even better. But you can't see what I'm doing, So I'm using the curve editor to use the smoothing tool built into it. And I think I did do it right. Okay, let's try this again. Smooth all 23. There we go. Was planning to watch them all again, Disney Plus 2. Not sure my kids have seen them all. It's a good chance for them to actually excuse me, to see them, and I hope they enjoy them as well. Last Crusade was awesome. Crystal Skull stunk. I have to admit, I can't actually remember much of Crystal Skull. I think it's not exactly a movie, but I think what I would consider Indie 4 is actually the Last Crusade adventure game from 1992. It looks very dated now, but it's still a really good game, and it captures the spirit of Indie nicely. And you get to go on this adventure looking for Atlantis. Excuse me. I've played that game a lot now, many times, and I've actually got it on my phone now, so that shows you how much I enjoy it. And I was lucky enough that when my dad bought a CD-ROM player for the computer, a CD-ROM drive, it came with a pack of 10 games on CD, and Indiana Jones and Fate of Atlantis was one of them, and it had the full voice over as well, because this was a time when a lot of games had no voiceover because they were released on floppy disk, and so there just wasn't any storage space for it. So the CD meant they could actually give voices, games voiceover for a lot of the dialogue, and of course something like Indiana Jones really benefited from that. Good joke, because it's true. Exactly. What do you call a Sith with a phone? I don't know. What do you call a Sith with a phone? Right, so a Sith guards seize him for that. Alright, so the card animation is done. I'm very happy with that. So what I need to do, okay, I will tweak the head a bit in the actual scene so that he's looking at the other character, but because the other character's not here, I can't do that, but that's not a problem. We'll do that next week. I mean, he's kind of looking at the other character there, so I don't want to adjust it and get it wrong. So I need to it was Soviets and aliens. Yeah, I still prefer not to remember it too much. Right, so yeah, saving this card animation. I hope he gets really detailed. Get really detailed views. I would say that no matter how many views I get, it would always be nice to have more. But I do appreciate every single person who has watched the main episodes and those who watch these streams live, like you guys, or just to find them later on. Hold on a minute, because it's not letting me save the... Okay, now it is. I don't know what was wrong with that. Yeah, and I appreciate every single person who watches all of this. I was watching Jaws on Netflix earlier. I didn't know it was on Netflix. Might have to look that up as well. It's another film I haven't seen for a long time. I hope you had a nice Memorial Day lunch and dinner. Well, Memorial Day isn't really a thing here, but it was a holiday, and it was also a friend's birthday. So I went to his birthday picnic, got to see him and a couple of other friends. Had a very nice afternoon. I've watched all of your content. I enjoyed the original series of yours and wondering if it had a future after the Star Wars chapters. Possibly. I've got ideas for the story, but not enough to tell a complete story. So until I figure that out, I don't know yet. I have original ideas for other stories as well, which are a little bit more developed. But we'll see where that goes. Okay, I'm getting rid of the card there. I'm going to bring it in Aves. Or we're going to have a quick look at Aves. I may save his motion for another time, because it is getting late. But let's bring in Aves and have a look at his data. So just bear with me a moment while I find it. There we go. Bring it in. Anyone watch Star Wars Vision series? I did. I watched both seasons. I preferred season 2 because there's a wider range of animation styles, and I thought it was really interesting to see. A lot of them were 3D animation, which is obviously related to what I'm doing here. So it's interesting to see how they tackle 3D animation in Star Wars. And some of it was very inspirational. I don't know how it applied to some of what they did to iClone, but I really liked what I saw. Right, so let's watch through this. So because he's walking, it's a little bit more glitchy. But the smoothing process that I did with card will work on this as well. So maybe I should have done him first. Never mind. Also got some clipping here with his hands in his legs. His foot is at an odd angle. I don't remember mine doing that when I was doing the motion capture. Minor issues though, very easy to fix. Yeah, just a few minor issues there. Also, that looks very painful. My leg definitely did not do that. Excuse me. Let me have a drink of water. That's better. Make your project epic. Well, I try to. I forgot it was Memorial Day. Well, it's a good thing you came here to get the reminder. Matthew, anyone playing the Jedi Survivor game? I was playing it. I was playing the PC version, which is known for being very glitchy. They released a patch 2 weeks ago. It's supposed to have fixed a lot of glitches with it, and I'm sure it has. But it also made it unplayably laggy. And the patch they released last week, well, more than last week, the last patch they released did nothing to fix it. So I'm kind of stuck, and I've been playing other games when time allows. So I'd like to get back to it because I was enjoying it before the patch ruined it. Hopefully there is a patch this week that makes it playable again. Alright, so I'm not going to do the stuff for Aves tonight because it's getting very late and I'm getting tired. But what I will do is I'll work on him during the week, and then next week's stream we'll put these characters and the motion capture data into the completed scene and we can see how that looks. I am of course working on the other scene that I did the motion capture data for. I need to render that tonight. Sherry, thank you for that reminder. So yeah, this will be 2 scenes completed for chapter 24. So making good progress. So yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you found this interesting. I know in previous videos I've been doing motion capture stuff and usually got talks about nothing about the motion capture data. I just did it and then we were discussing Star Wars, so I kind of want to make a point of talking a little bit more about what I was doing. And of course it's always good to come here and hang out with you guys. So yeah, thank you all for coming. See you all next time. May the Thrawn be with you. Sherry, thank you for the reminder of the meds. I'll go and do those as soon as the stream's over. Yeah, not really sure what else I can say at this point. Looking forward to getting 24 finished. It's a very exciting chapter, lots of good moments. And it's coming along. I don't have all the dialogue sent in yet, so I can't finish it, but I'm pleased with the progress I'm making. So thank you, Phil. Enjoying it. Thank you. Enjoy your, I believe it's day for you now. So yeah, take care. May the Thrawn be with you, and see you all next time. Good night.